Hello all, good evening. So welcome to today's market analysis. So as we can see, markets have closed flat today. Nifty is barely flat, it's just 3 points down, and Bank Nifty was up 100 points, as you can see, 135 points. Bank Nifty futures, I mean, and it was the mid cap select expiry today, so that was up 1.43% because of the short covering which took place in the index. So overall, the broader indices are in green itself, right? Small cap is also in green, but flat. Mid cap is also up 0.5%, and Nifty 500 universe is also lastly flat. So you can say that the broader market is was flat today. And coming to Nifty, as you can see, this was the earlier swing high which Nifty had put. So Nifty today essentially made a new continuation of this swing, and it printed a new, you can say, a lower low. Then it headed high and it made another, if you can consider this as a high, it has also made another lower high. So basically on the structure part, the price is still making a downward structure, but it kind of gave a pause at the same level today. You can say it was that's why it's a flat day, you can say. And yeah, that was about Nifty. And coming to more interestingly, Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty also had a similar behavior, but Bank Nifty's moves are more predictable and respecting more price action in a way. So similar to Nifty, as you can see, Bank Nifty also continued its swing on the downside, hit a new lower low, and again it went to hit a new lower high. If you compare this as a high, and this high is lower than this. So but the more interesting thing is where it took turns, right? So when you look at Bank Nifty's chart, this was the previous day low and the previous day's close in one sense. But more interestingly, it is the psychological round figures of Bank Nifty which help us in deciphering the reversal points. So one is the 44,500 level. It's a psychological, 500 strikes are more relevant for Bank Nifty, So for at 44,500, what was happening today is price was facing multiple rejections at this low 44,500, and the rejections from the bottom side, confirm that there is a strong buying pressure at these lows. So, Bank Nifty took off from this 44,500, and once it closed above the previous daily low, it took off. And on the upside also, it is the same psychological zone which we must always be aware, which is the 45,000 on the future. So as you can see that price comfortably was trading in this 500 points range, 44,500 as a psychological level on the top side, and 44,500 on the bottom side, and it was in range board. And once this price got rejected, again the concept of rejection is very inherent to price action, that once the price gets rejected from any extreme, it travels back, or you can say it retraces its a move on the other side. So that's what happened in Bank Nifty today. And as I mentioned in the thumbnail also, that at 11:55, you can see that at 11:55 there was a Nakshatra change which happened today, and at that particular point of time, Bank Nifty was somewhere around this particular zone, right? It was getting rejected from the 44,500, and it was about to make its journey upwards. But at 11:55, the spike came on the buying side. So there is also another reason for this, as I mentioned in the thumbnail, that there was a Nakshatra change which happened at 11:55, right? So let me explain that. So as you can see, this is today's Panchang. You can see today's Panchang on any website, but I'm using the Drik Panchang for reference. Today is 25th September, Monday. So as you can see, Panchang has 5 elements. Panch means 5, and it has 5 elements. One is Tithi, Nakshatra, Yoga, Karana, and Vara, right? And which Paksha it usually falls. So now we are currently in Shukla Paksha, and as you can see here, today's Nakshatra got changed at 11:55. So at 11:55 AM, there was a Nakshatra change from Uttarashada to Shravana Nakshatra. So why this is very crucial today is because Shravana Nakshatra's Lord is the moon, and today is also Somvar, and Somvar, as we know, the day Lord is moon. So when the nakshatra is getting changed to the nakshatra of the day itself, right? For example, in this case, it was the moon's own nakshatra in on the moon being the day lord, so you expect some trigger or change in sentiment, right? As moon, we know traditionally and in astrological sense, moon is the karak of the mind, right? So moon signifies mind, manaskaraka. So whenever moon there's a change point with respect to this nakshatra, so assume that if this is 11:45, the expected concept or understanding is that if there is a buy sentiment which is prevailing prior to this time, the sentiment might get triggered and change towards the sell, right? And if there's a sell sentiment prior to this, it might become a something like a buy sentiment. So that's what happened today in one sense, and the spike came exactly at 11:45. So it's very crucial, and it's difficult to time it, but a price is obviously there. So whenever we talk about chart, right, there are two elements. One is the price component of it, and another time component of it. Price is relatively easy to read. That's why we know that price action trading is so famous, but time is very difficult. It's a higher science. So as one example of time and price working in sync and helping us to get the direction right. So just thought of noting this and keeping this as a repository for today's session. So it was at this particular point, and then same action took place. Now coming to the quick price action review. So many when you look at, this is a lower time frame for today, right? When you look at bank nifty in 15 minutes time frame, you won't see much of this action playing out. It just looks like a tennis ball behavior of the price. It just keeps volatile. But when you go inside and understand and look at the price action, you will understand the reasons for these price movements, right? So you can go to as lower time frame as you're comfortable in, but the point is, it's not about the time frame, it's about understanding the price action, right? So just for the sake of convenience, I just taken this 2 minutes time frame to explain. So as you can see, price initially got rejected. It was the same rejection at the day's high, right? So this was the rejection which took place, and whenever rejection takes place, price heads to create a new extreme. If it's getting rejected at day's high, it will go and create a new day low. So that's what the price did here. Again, it got rejected at this particular point of time, and as we've discussed, this was 44,500 at the psychological level. It was almost once, twice. This was the third and third rejection, which confirmed that price is not heading downwards. Fourth, and this was the final one, right? It's almost 5 rejections from the lower side at 44,500 zones, and price took off post this consolidation. So it was consolidation and breakout. So once the price did a fantastic breakout, the volumes also increased on the breakout. The candle is also very good, so it confirms that the breakout is sustaining side, and the post the breakout, the price came for retracement. And look at where the price stops, right? The price will stop at the earlier swing, right? So always the intraday swings are more useful as a reference for the intraday. So it took a reference at the earlier swing, and the price headed to create a new high. So as it did, it showed signs of rejection at this particular zone first, but the point is, you need more confirmation for the reversal. For that, the price itself gave a confirmation that once it broke out of this this rejection point, it printed a new high, and the price immediately reversed. So that's a confirmation of rejection from the top. Once price got rejected from the top, and it broke the this swing also, it headed for support. The first support, obviously, which was ready for the chart, was maybe this level first, but it did not stop at that level because this price action is not so convincing, as you can see on the chart itself. It ultimately took reversal from this same this same zone, which incidentally is also the previous day low. So and price, again, this price action was pretty good. It made a good higher rise structure, and it went high, and it closed somewhere in there. So this was the price action explanation of the moves. And price action is simple, but today we had additional confirmation of time also. As I mentioned that it was at 11:55, right? So that the time aspect I mentioned. So 11:45 is somewhere at this particular point of time, right? So you can see this is, if I have to mark the time differentiation, it was somewhere, just consider plus or minus 5 minutes also is fine. but time is time in general. So when you look at this crosshair, it is 11:53. This particular candle blasted, and so it took off. So that was the entire move for you. So yeah, that's it for today's market. Again, the market is closed flat, but still it doesn't take out a swing high. The trend continues to remain. Market remains vulnerable for sell on rise context. So that's it for today's market analysis. Hope it was helpful. Thank you.